Hi people, this is to help you with solving problem 9A1, which is your homework, part of your homework. It's taken from the book as well. It's exercise 9B4. You can find it in your text as such. And it has to do with journalizing, posting, merchandising transaction, and as well to prepare a schedule of accounts receivable, which is called taken from what they refer to as a subsidiary ledger. And there are also some general ledger accounts that have been set up for you. All sales terms are 310 net 30. You should know that that means if our buyer pays us within 10 days of the invoice date, the buyer can take advantage of a 3% discount. Otherwise, has to pay the full invoice price on day 30. So again, it's going to be like I told you in a previous video. It's either the buyer takes the 97% within a 10-day period, or pays the whole 100% amount by day 30. Let's go. So we want to get the transactions up and move right along. So here we are. Roger's investing $3,200 in the business. It's a cash investment. The amount is $3,200, and the credit is to Roger's capital. There's no room for explanation here, but typically in a general journal you'd put in investment in business. I think we have to check our answer after each. Yeah. Okay. So that should bring up the next. Okay, sold merchandise on account to Clearview. That's a credit sale. So we want to establish an account receivable for Clearview. And here it is right here. And the amount of the sale is $650. And again, you credit sales, which is your revenue account, as I spoke of in a previous video, 650. And again, there's no explanation in these solutions, but we'll check our answer, and it looks like good. Well, that takes us to the next one. Sold merchandise to Nathan. That's another customer of ours. Invoice number 2 for $950. So we need to set up an account receivable for Nathan. There he is there, and the amount of the sale is $950. So we'll type in the $950. And again, it's a sale. It's the revenue account, the accumulation of which will end up in on your income statement as your revenue. And then there's a cash sale. It's different than a credit sale insofar that we receive cash immediately. So let's get by this one here, which would take us to the cash sale. And of course, if you're receiving cash, that's an addition to cash. Your rules of debit and credit, of course, add to an asset, debit. And again, this is a direct credit to sales for the same $400. Okay, I think we got that one right. Oh, $200. Oh, check that. 200. That's on the third, right? Okay, 200. Sorry about that. 200. Okay, so I think that gets us through the third. Check the answer. Well done. Thank you very much. Okay, and then after the third is the eighth. Now, we issued a credit memo to Clearview. Apparently, Clearview, we sold them some stuff up here for $650. Something was perhaps wrong with the merchandise. Obviously, it was defective, so we end up giving the guy a credit. Apparently, he's going to. We're either getting it back or we're giving him a credit, a sale return or an allowance, as the case may be. So that's a contra to the revenue. That's a debit balance item, which is going to be subtracted from sales when we do our income statement to figure out net sales. So $250 is going to be debited to that contra revenue account, and we have to take it off of Clearview's account. And you can see that there's a credit of $250 that we need to make to Clearview's account. So when we go into the subsidiary ledger, we are going to be reducing Clearview's account by $250, and obviously that would cause a reduction down to $400 of what the man owes to us. Okay, so I think we got that right. Let's check the answer. Well done. Thank you. Next, after that credit, we receive a check, less the return and the discount. Again, this is the same guy. I just mentioned to you that we should be owing him, he should be owing us $650 minus $250, and that's $400. So we got to clear his account up by $400. But what we first need to do, let me get these, it's a discount, right? We got the return in there, okay, and then we're going to clean up his account receivable. So what you're seeing here, kids, and I haven't calculated it, is that we've got to record the net amount received, debit to cash. We have to reduce the revenue account by the fact that this guy is taking, is it 3%? All sales are 3%. So 3% of the $400 that he owes to us is $12. I'm going to do this in my head. So if I took off $12 from the $400 that should be in his account, all right, I think that's going to get me 400, it's going to get me $388. Again, that's 400 minus the $12 discount. Where'd I get the 400? The sale was $650 minus the $250 return, nets us down to 400. The guy takes a 3% discount on 400. 3% of 400 is $12. 400 minus $12 equals $388. Now we have to show that it's almost like an expense we're incurring. We're not getting that $12, so we got to debit the discounts account, which will be subtracted against sales when we do our income statement to get net sales, as will the sales return. So we've got these two contra accounts, 250 and 12. So the net sale is going to show up at 388. I hope I did this right. Let me credit the account receivable for 400. Okay, so you study that, and if I check answer, I hope I did it right. Hey, okay, good for you. Where are we now? We're almost done. Cash sale 400. Okay, so now we're down here. Again, am I right? Cash sale 400. So that's a direct debit to cash, $400. It's not a credit sale, no discounts involved. There could be a return down the road, in which case we'd have to refund the money. So we'd credit the sales account for the $400. And I think we're good with that one. And then we got one final sale here to Clearview. Okay, kids? So that's a credit sale again, invoice. We prepared an invoice subject to the same 3% terms. So we want to come up and debit again Clearview, who's a regular customer of ours, $550. And the credit, of course, would be the sales. So the sales account is accumulating every time we credit sales. That increases the revenue that will end up on the income statement. But of course, we have to reduce the total. We have to reduce the total sales by the amount of the contra accounts. I'll get that 550 sooner or later. Okay, so what you should do, kids, is